Hi guys, welcome to Irish Footy Vlogs and welcome to another weekend preview show in the Premier Division. Cian, it's been a mad few, few days I suppose, because obviously matches last night as well, and we're going to tie them in to these games. So we'll talk about Finn Harps and St.Patrick's Athletic first at Ballybuffet on Friday night. It's the first game. Obviously St.Patrick. Obviously Finn Harps had a 0-0 draw with Longford Town. Now I didn't see this one. I did see a couple of games. Get onto them later. But I was basically told I wouldn't bother watching this back. So do you think Harps would be happy with that though? Go down to Longford getting a point, or?
I wouldn't do them any harm.
No.
I wouldn't do them any harm, and I just think from where they're at, they'd probably be disappointed. In recent seasons, they probably wouldn't have batted an eyelid. But it's, this season when they've started to win a couple of games, people will be asking the question, you nearly expect Harps to win now when they go to places like that. But it was an awful game of football.
Did you watch it?
I watched it this morning.
God love you.
It wasn't a great game. Now, it wasn't as bad as Bray and Treaty, though, I'm going to be honest. But, it was up there. It was probably a joint second, I would say. But, there was a lot of there was no real football being played in the game at all. And you're looking at Finn Harps now, like a massive game to see where they're at on Friday now, coming up against Pats. And this is a game where Finn Harps are really going to test themselves. Are we going to be talked about in this bracket, or are we going to be talked about in this bracket? And that's, I think you'll find out more after 8 o'clock on Friday. But
yeah, they're fourth on the table, 3 points behind Pats at the moment, for example.
Yeah. So it's going to be a big game, I think, for Finn Harps more so than Pats, just to see where you're at and see how you see where they can start looking at themselves maybe in 10 games time.
Yeah. Pats, obviously, from their point of view, still unbeaten, 4 wins, 2 draws, on 14 points with the other 2 Rovers, as we'll call them. But it was a comfortable enough win for Pats last night against Waterford, winning the game 1-0. I thought in the first 20 minutes, I watched this back, by the way, the first 20 minutes, Pats played some super stuff, to be honest with you. There's a few lulls here and there as well. But I thought Pats, obviously, they won the game. They'd be happy with that, with all the changes they made. Comfortable enough. They'd be a little bit disappointed. I heard Alfie Lewis say it as well, that they didn't kill the game, I suppose. And that always leaves yourself open in a match. But again, it's 3 points, on the way to Finn Harps on Friday.
Yeah, I thought it was Pat's worst performance of the season. And, I was saying that, and we won a 1-0, you take it all day long. I thought, going 1-0 up after 2 minutes, you're saying, right, Jesus, we have a chance here, maybe hitting a couple. And we should have had an easier game than we did. We made a bit of hard work of it. I know Waterford didn't press much. They didn't do anything really in the game. But it was just, Pat's we just made it hard for ourselves at times in the game. I think the back end of the first half, Waterford started getting a good bit of possession and a good spell in the game. And, even then starting the second half, I know Pats were the dominant side in the whole game. There's no question. If anyone was going to win, it was going to be Pats. I don't think anyone would have batted an eyelid. It was a tough one for Pats because, playing a big game on Saturday to them playing this game, and then after making 6 changes, and I thought credit where it's due. He got the subs, he got the pitch, he got the team, he got a spot on, and he used his bench, I think, as well as he actually could.
I think really Billy King actually went off with an injury at half time, didn't he, as far as I know, which is a bit worry with him.
Yeah, Billy pulled up, but we've managed the squad really well over this little busy period. I thought I was really impressed with Alfie. Even late on in the game, and he hasn't played since December. Late on the game, in the 70th minute, he was still getting on the ball. He was making space, and I thought Ben McCormick was excellent as well. And Darragh Bowen scores again for us, and it's great to see these lads coming in. I would have possibly liked to see Naheem Lambert coming in and just giving them a chance up front, considering Coughlin. Now people have kind of criticised cockling a little bit, saying he had a poor game. But you know, if you look back on the result, or look back in the game, he was making runs. It just wasn't working out for him, but he was making the runs, and like a
Yeah, it
second
doesn't
half,
stop. Like, he doesn't stay still, like, ever. So,
you know,
yeah.
second half, that was nowhere near a free kick for the keeper when Pat scored from the corner. Keeper was already on the deck, and then he started screaming, and like, you know, I just thought, you know, that goes in different game. You know, Pat's maybe we got a second, the floodgates that open a little bit, maybe. But
even if they didn't, I think 2-0 just would have been a fairer kind of reflection on the game.
I'll take a 1-0 win all day, no problem, man. You know, like, winning becomes a habit, and not losing becomes a habit. That's what Pats are at the minute, and you know, there's such a buzz around the place. And you know, it's mad at what a couple of players and 4 wins and 2 draws can actually do for you as a club. Like, you know, like, you're looking at Pats now. Like, last year, if we were talking, like, we would have been in lockdown this year, saying, geez, we had a very bad start. You know, we played very poor against Shells. We played very poor against Waterford. Yeah. You know, and then all of a sudden we have a great result at Sligo. But now this year, I think a bit more confidence in them. You know, like, I'd fancy Pats now to go up to Finn Harps and win the game.
I think Pats are going to win the game, basically, on Friday, yeah.
It'll be very hard. No, it's going to be one of our hardest. We haven't won up there in a little while, actually. I think 2019, I think it was actually the Easter Monday, I think it was the Easter Monday, or the Maybank holiday Monday. Connor Clifford scored, we beat them up there, but I don't think we won up there.
Lost 2 there last season anyway in the cup and the league, so that's you know, in itself. But the pitch might be in better condition this time of the year as well. It's good weather and that as well, so it'll be interesting, because you're right, it will be a test for Pats as well, because they lost twice there last year a bit as well, and Harps will be better organised than, say, Waterford, to be perfectly honest with you as well. And look, it's an interesting game. I think Pats might pinch this one as well. Another 1-0, I think. They'll probably take that, let's be honest. Shamrock Rovers and Bohemians, that's a massive game on Friday night, and a massive game for Bohemians, this one, because Bohemians are 7 points off 3 teams at this minute in time. And we'll talk about them first in relation to the game against Sligo. And like, I watched this back early on in the day there, and what a game this was. Like it sounds like Sligo won the game easily, but they didn't. Like, Bowes had chances in the match. McGinty made some saves. It was such a good game. Sligo now were excellent because they were clinical. But overall, a great game this was. And, you know, I know it's a defeat for Bowes, and it's easy for me to say, not being a fan, I guess. But they could definitely take something into the Shamrock Rovers game with that performance. Sure they can.
Yeah, definitely. I watched it after the Pats game, and I got home, and it was a really, really good game of football for minute one, and it was very competitive. There was nothing between the sides, really. Gibson was superb again for Sligo. Like, his goal, that technique was just unbelievable. You know, to just see it, and you could see him moving up for it, and you could see the leg going up and all, and I was saying, this is going top bins, but I went in the bottom now. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, really impressive, and it just shows you what a full pre-season can do for a player. And, you know, it's very hard coming in halfway through a year, you know, so I'm looking at him saying, you know, this fella is a big player for Sligo this year, and so he should be. I think he's excellent. He's bags of ability, he's bags of speed, he's bags of power. You know, he can definitely be the man. He can drop the shoulder, you can play him through the middle. So he's a great, great player to have in your side. I am disappointed Pat's never held on to him. I did tell you that a few times. I thought he could have given you something, you know, but I have to be honest, and I have to say, Sligo got it right. They took their chances. Bowes had a couple of chances that they missed. Wasn't it?
Keith Ward.
About 83, 84 minutes into the game. Yeah. And they missed a serious chance. And then all of a sudden they're losing the game 3-1. So that's just a fine margin.
See, that's it as well. It was 1-1 from Bowes' point of view. It was 1-1 after 77 minutes or something like that, 76 minutes maybe. And obviously Sligo nicked the game. I think one thing that Bowes fans are a little bit disappointed with, and I can understand the way that Keith Long did rotate heavily, and they're kind of thinking Sligo, like our good side, they didn't really rotate. You get me?
Yeah, well, look, you have to rotate your side. Sligo are going to be going in now on Friday and Saturday, and they're going to have to be updating or rotating their squad on Saturday because, you can't. No matter how good your squad is, you need. No matter how good your starting 11 is, you need your 18 to 22 players playing, and they're all going to get a run out throughout the course of the season. So, like, I might get caught up on Sligo now, but in a couple of weeks you'll see it, and I might catch up on them. They might be rotating heavily one week.
True.
You have to rotate. So I wouldn't be too critical, and I think the Bow side that was put out matched Sligo. No question, they matched them man for man. There was nothing really in the game at all up until the last couple of minutes when, maybe Sligo just ran out winners. But there was nothing between the sides, so I wouldn't be using that. I think that's a bit of an excuse. I just, the Bows were well in the game right up, and these things happen. It's fine margins.
That's what I mean as well. They weren't actually, they lost 3-1, and if you've just seen the result, it sounds like they might have been given a bit of a lesson here, but they weren't actually really, maybe in finishing on the day. But apart from that, in terms of tactical, the way the game went tactically and opportunities, and it was attack versus attack. It was like a basketball match at times as well. I loved that though.
Yeah, no, it was good, I have to say. I enjoyed watching it. I thought it was probably one of the best games this year so far.
Yeah, probably the best in my opinion. Shamrock Rovers winning 1-0 from their point of view against Drogheda, but I was at this game at United Park, and I don't know how to describe it. Like, Rovers had a lot of the ball in the first 20 minutes, basically, and Drogheda looked dangerous in the counter-attack, and it was a fascinating first half, even though it was 0-0. Second half, even enough, but we get to the last 15 minutes, and Rovers just suddenly just turned on a switch. Actually, do you know what they did? They brought in Mandrew, McCann, and Burke. That was the switch they turned on. Suddenly they were all over Drogheda, and you could tell there was people around me, Drogheda people and that, and they're thinking, are we going to hang on here? Are we going to hang on? They fought very well, Drogheda, but Shamrock Rovers did it again last night. They'd be disappointed though, because it was a free kick, and they let Danny Mandrew have a free header at the back post, so they'd be a little bit disappointed with that from that point of view. That was very disappointing, I think, from Drogheda point of view. But Rovers again, they've done it again, basically. This is 4 times out of 6 games they've got points by winning or drawing in the last minute, and they mightn't be playing very well, but they're going to be confident going in against Bohemians as well.
Yeah, look, they were really they dug in deep, and that's what they do. They've 4 late goals this year alone. And it's excellent. Like,
and do you know what that's going to do to the other team you're up against now as well? Yeah, subconsciously sitting back in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah. No, look, they'd be disappointed. I was watching the game. I was watching the last 5 minutes of it. Because for some reason it was started a lot later than the Pats game. There was a couple of minutes in the difference, so I was watching on my phone on the waiting on the bus. I don't know, you want to hear me screaming at time, Matthew, I swear to God. I was back post 95th minute. You can't leave a man free, let's be honest. I don't care, you can't. And you got points for
a free kick, like, it's not even a cross.
And it was going nowhere in the corner.
Yeah. I'm not being funny, but Danny Mandrew's got great ability, but he shouldn't be winning headers in the box.
No, so it'd be disappointing from Drogheda's point of view, but look, they can take great pride out of it. They weren't really in the game, let's be honest. But when you hold them out to the 95th minute or something, it's sick then, to concede like that. But Rovers do what Rovers do, and that's, champions, that's what they do. And, you're turning draws into wins and wins into and draws into wins, and you lose losses into draws, and it just shows you like the mental attitude of that team is faultless, and it's great to see. It's great to see a team like that. That instead of like having your head down, it's just let's go for it.
The belief is there, though, isn't it? It's just a belief. You can have good players, yeah, but the belief is clearly there to do that. Like, you just sense they're going to get a goal, and there was a few panicky moments. Dylan Watts had a shot that just went wide that had McKay beaten. But I just had this weird feeling when the free was given, they're going to score here, and they did. So, you know. But in relation to the Bows game, how important is this for Bohemians? Like, can they afford to lose this?
Yeah. Look, it's too early. It's too early for any of that. Like, it really is. Like, Pats at top of the league, joint top of the league. Like, Pats aren't going to be there. You know what I mean? And so Rovers, you would expect to be there, but you can't expect Pats to be there. So that gives someone else like Bows an opportunity, and Dundalk, if they get their ship together, to put a run together and get themselves up there because they have the players. So I wouldn't say it's a must-win game, but you know what, this game is nothing without the fans. It really isn't.
Yeah, it's horrible actually. There's actually 2 games this weekend, but we'll get to the other one in a minute in that terms of that. Yeah. But Shamrock, Rovers and Bows, no fans, like it's despairing, isn't it?
Yeah, look, it's not great. Look, I remember last year when Bows were having that so-called title challenge in July, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. They played. They played Rovers and Rovers beat them. I think it was an early enough goal as well. They won the game and that was just petered out.
It did. It petered out big time. Yeah,
there's no plan for what happened. And I think Daniel Lafferty scored actually.
That's right. You're right. Yeah.
It was it's poor without the crowd, and I think look, we all know what it's like, but it's the same for both teams. I'm going to say Rovers will win this. I just feel like they have it now, and these the late goals and just now grinding out results and turning draws into wins and stuff. I think Rovers might just nick this, but look, anything can happen on Derby Day, and look, it's a game that I think everyone will be tuning into. I think it'll be the most watched one now on RTA this year. Do I think it's going to be a great game? No, I don't. I can't. I can see it being bang average at max. Like that's being coined. These games aren't really that great.
I can also see Bowles trying to keep it tight after conceding the 3 as well, that kind of thing.
Like these games aren't great games to watch.
Very rarely.
Like I've been to.
But what is, can you just go back quickly? It's actually the fans that usually make those games, and as you say, because they're gone, then you really see the game. If you get me, so yeah, 100%.
Like I went in last year, absolutely poison game. Last year, it was Bows and Rovers on the Saturday, the day after the first day of the season.
Oh, yeah.
Like that game was supposed to be on RTE. And RTE said you weren't getting up in the gantry with the wind. So I said, I had the ticket anyway, and I went. I was down with all them with that Rovers shower down behind in the day.
I was with the Bowls guys. I was there with the Bowls guys, yeah.
I was watching the game and I was saying, Jesus, this is bad. And then that last minute goal and everyone's jumping up around you and the joy and saying, that's what you go for. You don't go for You don't go for the football, especially in that game. Like I don't know. I'm looking forward to watching it. No question. Like I watch every game, but I'm looking forward to watching the games on Saturday as much as I am this one.
The bite isn't quite there now because of the fans, but I got to go with Shamrock Rovers as well. To be honest, I think they might nick this one 1-0 because I just have the belief at the moment. This is another game that would have been great with fans, particularly because Drogheda have only promoted Dundalk and Drogheda at Oriel Park, but similar in a way because I think it's an underrated derby at times because they haven't really been in the same division very often, recent years. But massive game for Dundalk. Again, Dundalk 3-1 with Derry. They'll be disappointed with that, I think, because Macmillan gave them the lead. They're 5 points behind Drogheda at some interesting time, which is funny. I know we've only 6 games, but even so, I keep saying every week Dundalk have to get a win. They've got 6 without a win game.
Yeah, look, I think I don't know. I really don't. I was looking at it. It's still a bit of a mess, and I think it will be for a while. You need who your man is, whoever they're getting in, and whether it's Jerry Little or whether it's somebody, just get them in and give them the reins, let them
at it.
Yeah. And I think then we'll start really seeing how good Dundalk are. Look, they're in transition in this minute in time. Jim never wanted to be there. They gave a good account of themselves yesterday, and they gave a great account of themselves against Pats, considering everything that's going on. So, it just shows you, if you get the right man in there, how powerful they can be. Because if they're being so competitive and so they're showing so much passion and fight now, if you got someone in there to sail the ship, Dundalk is in trouble. I really mean that. They're going to be right back up there, and so they should be. Try to be disappointed, like we said, but I see Dundalk winning this. I see them winning this, and I see them winning it 2-1. 2, if not 3.
Really, that'll be interesting. I'm going to have to go against you in this one. I'm going for Drogheda to make a point out of this, believe it or not. Another game on at 6 o'clock on Saturday, and that's Sligo Rovers and Derry City. And you spoke earlier how I think Sligo might rotate. A lot of fans might say, and this is no offence to Derry City, but if you're going to rotate, this is the game to rotate in, is it?
Yeah, definitely, no question about it. Derry gave a good account of themselves. Derry done well now against Dundalk. Now the goal was gifted to them. Like, oh my sweet.
Seen the goals. I didn't see the game, to be honest, but I've seen the goal. I don't know what a baby was doing there. I really don't.
No, but it wasn't a great game, but it wasn't a bad game either. And Derry held their own, and it wasn't backs against the walls. It wasn't anything like that. So, Derry would take a bit of pride into that. They'd be going in now. If they can nick a draw, it'd be a great result, I think. I'm going to go for the Sligo win, but if Derry were to nick a draw here, I think that's the best Derry can hope for.
Yeah. Who do you think was the happier, by the way, with that point, Derry and Dundalk, in your opinion? Probably Derry?
Derry all day.
Yeah.
The way they start the season hasn't been great. Definitely, I'm going to say Derry.
Yeah, the Sligo Derry game, I can't go against. You can't go against Sligo, can you? Really? You never know. Derry could get a draw or a win, but there's nothing logical that you could suggest that Derry gets something out of. Sligo are just in full blown. They're playing really well at the moment. They really are. They're creating chances. They're scoring chances. Talk about Gibson's goal. Yeah, fantastic goal. Cawley's goal wasn't half bad either. And even the move for Mark Byrne's goal, the move was actually good. Just sweeping football. It's lovely football to watch. It really is. And they're playing some lovely stuff.
This is why we watch the league. This is why we have Liam Buckley in the League of Ireland. I have to say, I think Pats aren't far off the way Sligo play at the minute. I really think that.
Pats are similar, but they're a little bit slower in the final third than Sligo, I think. But they're similar. They're on the same wavelength, yeah.
Liam is what Liam does and what he brings. I love him. I love the man to pieces. What he does and how he sticks to his principles. With how they play, and I adore that man. I really do. What he's done with Pats, and I think. I fancy Sligo here, I really do, and I fancy them to hit them. I'm going to say 2 or 3.
I wouldn't be surprised. Sorry, Derry City. We've got Waterford and Longford Town at the RSC, Cian, and Longford got a 0-0 draw in Harps. Obviously, Waterford were beaten by Pats, so we'll talk a bit about Waterford and what you thought of them in that game against Pats from their own point of view.
Yeah, look, the early goal killed them. There's no question. The last place you want to concede, where 88 minutes to go, is Richmond Park at this minute in time. 88 minutes to go, you're 1-0 down, you get a second as court. So, in fairness, they've done really well. They got themselves back into the game. And now that was true, Pat's being sloppy, in my opinion, and, sloppy passes. But they got themselves back into the game, and they had a few posh shots at Yaros. Free kick. Probably could have done better with the free kick there just to start the second half. But, they had a posh shot in the first half as well, and they drilled it, but they drilled it straight at Yaros. They didn't do anything, I don't think, in the game. And, we've all seen the assistant and what he done, and, screaming and shouting out socks. But, that comes out. A bit of tape, wasn't it, on the socks? Genuinely, I was just
I don't know what that is. It's a distraction in a way, isn't it? It's been mad at other things.
It's frustration. Coming out.
Yeah.
But now, in fairness, he gave him a decent bollocking. Now he gave Graham a decent bollocking. Now, in fairness, I don't know if you could hear it on the commentary, but my God, I could hear him behind the goal. He was. And Graham was like, "Who are you talking to? Who are you talking?" He was like, "I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you." And he was going right up into his face. I've never seen, even Ollie Horgan isn't like that. So, I'm going to say Waterford will lose this one. I can't see them I can't see them getting a goal at the minute. Never mind a win.
They've only scored from set piece this season, which is not great, like at all. Yeah, I think I agree with you. Like I hate kind of at them nearly every week, but like I can only go with my gut, and I just look at Longford, and they just look like they're a team. They're a team, right? Waterford aren't a team at this minute in time, in my opinion. They could nick a draw out of this game. There's no question about it. But I find it very difficult to see them going on to win the game. Longford, from their point of view, and they'd be still happy enough with that point against Finn Harps, even though you said it was kind of a nothing game. They'll say, look, we'll take that point. We'll move on. They'll be looking to win this, though. They'll be going down to beat Waterford, I think.
Yeah. Look, that point shouldn't be underestimated by Longford. They had to work hard, and I'm delighted for them to get that point. And, they're going to be competitive in this league. I was looking at the game and I was saying, you know what, if anyone's going to win this, it might be Longford. And, I'm thinking to myself here, Longford now, big chance to win. Then the following week, the Pats coming to them they have to go to Pats. So, this is a chance, to pick up a decent performance and get 3 points because, they're coming up against they're coming up into a little run of games where you're probably not going to pick up many points. So, if you can get 3 here, give yourself a head start going in and you'd be laughing.
And then the other point, if Waterford don't win this match, even this early, and the way they're looking, it's not even the points, it's the way you look at them when you see them play. It's looking a bit dodgy for them in that kind of way as well. Here, guys, we'll leave it there. Please subscribe, hit your bell notification button so you don't miss a video, and let us know what you think in the comments, give us your predictions, etc. Thanks a million, guys. See you later. Cheers, Keane.
Thank you.